Welcome everyone to the Smart Analytics Roadmap session. I'm Sudhir Hasbe. I'm the Director of Product for Smart Analytics at Google Cloud. Data across organizations is growing, and then organizations need a very strong analytics platform to leverage this data, create insights, and make real-time decisions on top of this data. At Google Cloud, we are a data company. We basically collect massive amounts of data. We leverage our machine learning and AI capabilities to generate insights from them and power our products. We have more than 9 products. We have 9 products that have more than 1 billion users that use it every day. At Google Cloud, we have also seen convergence of a lot of these technology trends. We have seen organizations are breaking down data silos between data lakes and data warehouses. As organizations are moving to cloud, they want to be able to interoperate between all of these data assets that have been created. Second, we're seeing organizations focus a lot more on real-time decision making. And a lot of processes historically have been built for batch processing. And this transition to real-time processing is requiring organizations to think about how do you go ahead and build consolidated solutions that can run on both real-time as well as batch data. And then finally, analytics and AI, merging these concepts. Like data scientists are spending 80% in some studies on data preparation, and analysts are trying to go ahead and do predictive analytics on top of data that they have. And convergence of these different users within organizations, use cases is also becoming a norm now. So at Google Cloud, our vision is to go ahead and provide you with an enterprise class data platform that is proven to be dependable. We at Google actually have services that are built for scale, built for availability. So we want to bring that same kind of rigor to our data platform. The other thing is we believe in open and flexible capabilities. We are also leveraging some of the intelligence capabilities with AI, ML, embedding it within our products. So we want to provide you with this end-to-end smart analytics platform that allows you to go ahead and get more value out of your data. So what does the platform entail? You can go ahead and collect massive amounts of events in real time or in batch with the platform. Organizations like Spotify are collecting events. Every time you play a song, the event gets collected across the globe using PubSub. They process the data through Dataflow, which is our streaming service that allows you to go ahead and do stream processing as well as batch processing. You could also use Dataproc, which is managed Hadoop and Spark environment with similar kind of data sets. And then you can use BigQuery for large-scale analysis. In addition to that, we have launched migration service that allows you to easily migrate from your traditional data warehouses to BigQuery. We launched Data Fusion. It's a data integration service. Visually, you can create data pipelines end-to-end and then go ahead and deploy it on GCP. We went GA end of last year, and we have seen tremendous interest in this from customers across the globe. Dataprep is a data wrangling service. It's a partnership with Trifacta. It allows you to go ahead and do zero-code data wrangling or data preparation. We are also going to have a couple of new SKUs that are being launched for Dataprep as we go into this year. The other thing is also from a storage perspective, you can leverage BigQuery or Bigtable. A lot of organizations use Bigtable as their backbone for high throughput data sets, like when you need it for your e-commerce website and all. And organizations use BigQuery for large scale analytical data sets. It's a analytical store. And then you can use BigQuery for analysis with SQL. It has various different capabilities in SQL. And then like things like BI Engine, which is our in-memory technology, embedded machine learning. So you can create machine learning models with like just a couple of lines of SQL. And then you can also use Spark with Dataproc. A lot of organizations like using Spark ML for machine learning models and all. You can do that with Dataproc. And then finally, to take actions on top of your data, you can use Looker. Looker is a great addition to our platform. We'll talk more about that later in the presentation. Connected Sheets, you can now leverage connected sheets like Google Sheets to leverage the power of BigQuery on the back end. You can take a petabyte scale data set and just start analyzing it with connected sheets. And then on top of that, we launched Data Catalog earlier in the year. It allows you to go ahead and get metadata understanding of your environment. You can search for any data set that you have, put some policies on top of that data. And then Composer, which is our workflow orchestration capability, which is managed Airflow, allows you to bring all of these services together. So overall, if you look at the platform, you can collect, you can process the data, you can store it in various different platform solutions that we have for different use cases. You can analyze it at scale, and then you can activate on top of that data, do different kind of activations. One of the other things we were talking about earlier is this interoperability. So at Google Cloud, one of our key value propositions is to go ahead and have this completely interoperable environment where you can have your data in a data warehouse or in data lake or in databases, and you can use the same BigQuery engine to go ahead and run queries across all of them, even Google Sheets. Then on the other side, if you store your data in BigQuery, which is a highly analytical store, you can then use any of the other engines, including, like, you can use the BigQuery engine, but you can also use Spark engine with Dataproc. You can use Beam with Dataflow. You can use Cloud AI. So all of these different engines like AutoML and all, they seamlessly work on top of BigQuery. So this interoperability is one of the key value propositions that we have focused on. We've added a lot of capabilities in last year or so, and then we continue to improve it as we go. We have seen tremendous growth across the globe. Every industry, every region, organizations like from Home Depot to AirAsia, HSBC, UPS, like you will see different kind of organizations, some of them like cloud native startups to like Twitters and all, and to like, traditional enterprise organizations using the platform. So today, as I talk through the roadmap, I want to take you through 4 different kinds of use cases that organizations use, or scenarios. One is with modernizing your data analytics with BigQuery, data lakes with Dataproc and Composer, more responsive businesses with Dataflow and PubSub, and then finally enterprise BI with Looker. Let's talk about BigQuery. BigQuery is highly scalable cloud data warehousing solution. We have customers that have few terabytes to hundreds of petabytes within BigQuery. It's completely serverless. You bring data in, load it, and start querying. You don't have to worry about machines and operations and manageability or anything like that. It allows you to do real-time streaming. We have customers that are ingesting tens of millions of events every day. Tens of millions of events every second into BigQuery. We have embedded machine learning, and then we also enable insights for everyone within an organization. With investments like connected sheets, now data and insights is accessible to everyone. One of the other innovations that we have worked on is around our pricing. So BigQuery is 10 years old. In June this year, we became 10 years. We pioneered the pricing model of pay-per-query, but over a period of time, organizations have asked for different options. So we launched BigQuery Flat Rate, which is subscription pricing, every month, fixed price, so that you can go ahead and leverage BigQuery with a consistent price point. We also had a lot of customers ask us for this burst, per second, per minute billing, so that they can bring workloads that are bursty. Monday morning ETL jobs have to run, or you have a Black Friday event that happens in US. So all of these different kinds of use cases needed this burst capability. The beauty of 3 pricing models with BigQuery is you can actually interchange them. You can basically use all 3 of them in a mix and match fashion within your organization, and go ahead and leverage each one of them for different kind of use cases. So you can easily mix and match these. Let's talk about BigQuery roadmap. I want to highlight few of the key things, but there is another session at the bottom of the screen. You will see these recommendations I have for different sessions that give you deep dive into these specific areas. But let's talk about BI engine and materialized views, always fast, always fresh, BigQuery ML, data Q&A, and Omni today. Always fast, always fresh. This is our theme around collecting large-scale events in real time. We have rebuilt our whole storage engine to be streaming first. Along with that, we have materialized views where what users can do is they can take this data that's streaming, coming in, or any batch data that comes in. You can partition and cluster it so that the queries become faster. But with materialized views, you can actually pre-aggregate and keep the data sets ready for the use case that needs the low latency. Um, the One of the best things about materialized views is as the underneath data changes, we automatically update your materialized view. You do not have to worry about running scheduled jobs and all. So we will automatically materialize it. Second thing we do is if a query is returned after, or if you have an old query that doesn't use materialized view, but you've created this materialized view, internally our query engine will reroute the queries to go through materialized view. So that's a really good capability. So you don't have to worry about changing all your queries and all. And finally, BigQuery BI engine. So BI engine allows you to have this in-memory caching layer on top of BigQuery that gives you sub-second latency response times on your BI use cases. Today, it only works with Data Studio, but later in the year, we will make it available through Turbo SQL, which is our internal name for our SQL capability. So any query coming to BigQuery will be able to leverage BI engine. So this will be available through all the BI tools, our JDBC drivers, as well as the queries that you fire. It will give you really fast response times on top of that. And we will also support some of the star schemas for BI engine use cases. And the other thing is nothing changes on your side. Write the same query. We will automatically fall down to whichever layer has the most cached results for you. So if it's BI engine in-memory caching, we'll use that. If not, we will fall to materialized view. If not, to partition and clustering. Let's switch gears, talk about BigQuery ML. BigQuery ML is our embedded machine learning capability. It allows you to write 2 lines of code to create machine learning models and then get predictions with similar kind of 2 lines of code. So we've launched this like a year and a half back. And then since then, we have been adding all these different types of models. We have seen tremendous interest in k-means clustering. We've matrix recommendations or recommendations through matrix factorization. We have customers who have taken their historical user data, gone ahead and create clusters based on what type of users are there, and then do product recommendations to them using matrix factorization. In recent times, we've also added new capabilities where now you can connect to cloud AI services and their capabilities like AutoML tables. Now, BigQuery ML with 2 lines of SQL, you can leverage AutoML. You can use XGBoost from there. You can use DNN models with it. So we are basically making it all the different cloud AI capabilities more accessible through SQL for our BigQuery and our data analyst community. We also have the time series forecasting. But the most important thing that we have added is this interoperability with TensorFlow. Now you can take the model that you created in BigQuery, export it as TensorFlow, and then load it into your serving platform and make it more accessible in the real-time world too. The other theme we have had is this democratizing insights. With connected sheets, you can take a petabyte scale table and then have a great visualization, great ad hoc analysis with connected sheets or G Suite sheets. With data Q&A, now you can use natural language to get your questions answered. So it's basically, you just ask a question, get an answer. This is going to free up a lot of time for BI teams, right? You don't have to now create a custom dashboard or a report for every question that comes up. You can just ask it. The main thing that we're focused on is making this available through various different experiences. We do realize organizations want different experiences with natural language. In many cases, it's all available through an API. So organizations can build their own custom experiences. We will make it available through Google Sheets. We will have some chatbots, Dialogflow integration. So all of these different integrations are planned to be coming. It's all built on our internal technology called Analyza. There's a great paper on it if you're interested. But this is the same technology that also powers Google Assistant and various different services that we have internally. It allows us to go ahead and get like question parsing, intent identification, and entity matching all done automatically using the same technology, and then the SQL and how we map it to BigQuery is where we are innovating right now. So great new capability. If you're interested, you should reach out to us so that we can give you early access and all. The other big area, every organization is in multi-cloud environment now. If not, they will be in some time to come. Few years back, there used to always question which cloud, why cloud, and all of that. Now, I talk to customers across the globe. Most of the questions that they ask is, what are the key capabilities in which cloud, and how do I leverage them for their use cases? So BigQuery Omni is our ability to take some of our core capabilities with BigQuery and extend them into other cloud environments. So you will get the same experience. You'd still go to the BigQuery UI, you still write the similar queries, you're just now accessing data on different clouds. So that's one main thing. And then finally, we're leveraging Anthos internally so that the management of the machines and all of that is not your problem. We just do that behind the scenes. The way to think about this is, like we are announcing the availability on Azure in the early alpha phases, where you can reach out to us and we can you can start testing and validations and stuff like that. We will make it available to organizations in form of beta and all later in the year and all. But the way to think about it is it's just another region. So you will have the same control plane, same query experience in BigQuery, but today you can connect to US and EU multi-region or one of the regional deployments of BigQuery datasets. And now the data in S3 just becomes another data set for you to go ahead and query. We will take our compute engine and run it in AWS, so you don't pay any egress charges back and forth within that. The only time egress will be involved is when you move that end result set that you have aggregates or something that you created. If you want to move it back into GCP, then egress will be there, but otherwise you don't have to worry about any of that. All that is managed service. We take care of all of that stuff. AWS is available now, and Azure will be coming soon in coming quarters. So let's switch gears now and look at the second topic. We covered BigQuery from an analytics perspective. Let's go to data lake side of things. If you think about Google Cloud, some of the largest data lakes are running on top of GCP. And like customers like Twitter and Pandora, all of them run large-scale clusters on it and on us. And the reason is it's super fast, it's secure, it's managed, and it's cost-effective for organizations. And we do support managed experience around various different Apache projects like Spark and Hadoop and Scala and Presto and Druid and just pick one. Like we enable you to run Ranger, all of that. And also we have managed Airflow, which is available as Composer service that is there. Today I wanted to talk about few key roadmap items in this area. One is enterprise notebooks, second is Dataproc Metastore, and then analytics on Kubernetes. Again, more details in other session. We launched our Cloud AI notebooks in recent past, right? It's available. Organizations are using it across the board. You can have your personal notebook. You can create a team notebook with Kubernetes backed environment. But what we have launched now, it's in beta that's available, is our Smart Analytics framework. And what that is we are bringing all the big data capabilities, big data services behind the same Cloud AI notebooks environment and enabling you to run this on top of a Dataproc cluster. So basically, large-scale Spark jobs can now run on top of it. You just go and create a notebook from Dataproc environment, and then it's available. And then you also have the Beam notebook, and it also connects with like BigQuery, Dataflow, Dataproc. All of these engines become accessible to you from the same framework. Really powerful, really looking forward to enabling these data scientists across the globe to leverage this new environment that's available. The next topic I want to talk about is managed Dataproc Metastore or Hive Metastore. A lot of organizations have told us managing a Hive Metastore is painful. We should just have a managed version of it. That's exactly what we're doing. It's going to be completely integrated with our security capability, monitoring and monitoring capability in Google Cloud. It will support all the major the security capabilities that organizations need. Over time, we will enable all of that stuff. So that is there. You will be able to go ahead and scale out over time and all of that. So it's available in beta this year, and so I would highly recommend using this. If you're running any kind of a Hadoop environment on top of Hadoop or Spark environment in Google Cloud, you should use the managed Metastore now. Finally, I'm super excited about this transition from Yarn to Kubernetes in the big data world, and we pioneered some of it with our launch of Spark on Kubernetes, and we believe that this is the best next step for open source community to adopt Kubernetes. And so right now we have Spark on Kubernetes available. We are looking at other options like Flink and Presto, but this is a great way of running Spark environment where Kubernetes becomes the backbone for management and all. One of the other things this enables is for you to now run Spark jobs on top of BigQuery. Earlier, I talked about how BigQuery enables you to have the analytical storage accessible from a Dataproc and Beam. With this now, you can have Spark on Kubernetes connected to BigQuery, and you can run large-scale Spark ML jobs or various different kinds of aggregates that you may want to run outside of BigQuery SQL. So great way of doing that. With that, let me actually switch gears and talk about the next topic that we have, which is around building more responsive businesses with real-time environment, right? So we covered BigQuery, analytical cloud data warehousing. We covered data lakes. Now let's talk about Dataflow and PubSub. If you look at real-time is becoming really critical, there's a standard pattern. To ingest large-scale events, you want to transform them, and you want to analyze and serve them later. And so the pattern normally in GCP, the way it works is you use PubSub for large-scale connection. You can always use Kafka. Confluent has a good managed service on that. You can transform and transformations. Normally, Dataflow is the best engine, I think, across all clouds for running large-scale stream processing. And then you can also use Spark if you wanted to. And then for analyzing and storing later, you can use Cloud ML, you can use BigQuery, you can use Bigtable. There are a lot of different options there. In the roadmap side, I wanted to highlight a few of the key things here. One was PubSub Lite, Dataflow SQL, making it easy to get started with streaming pipelines, observability and manageability, and of course, streaming predictions. Again, more details in another session in 101. If you think about a collection of events, PubSub is an amazing global service. As I said, Spotify uses it, large-scale organizations are using it. But we've seen adoption of a lot of do-it-yourself messaging platforms on GCP. And a lot of organizations have said, hey, we want a lower cost option. We want something to get started in smaller teams, departmental use cases. And then PubSub Lite is exactly for that. It's a zonal service. It's super low cost so that organizations can get started. They don't have to manage their infrastructure. Fully managed, really low price and low cost offering. I would actually challenge you to compare your do-it-yourself costs against PubSub Lite, and I think PubSub Lite will become much more compelling for you in even those scenarios. It's a zonal service, so keep that, you should have that in your failover scenarios and stuff like that. Think through what use cases you're enabling, and then it will integrate with Dataflow and other services like Cloud Functions and all natively out of the box. The other thing I want to highlight today is Dataflow SQL. We want to make building streaming pipelines super easy. Dataflow SQL allows you to write SQL statements to create complex pipelines. You use the same BigQuery experience for writing SQL. It's the same BigQuery UI, and some of the innovation that we've done in BigQuery UI with multi-tabs and all, I'm super excited about that too. But you can just write a SQL statement and create the whole pipeline, and we take care of all of the creation, management, all of that after that. The thing that it's available today is with PubSub as well as BigQuery. We're going to add Kafka, we are going to add Bigtable and Cloud SQL in addition to those. And then we also are looking at UDFs and enabling UDFs. Creating pipelines, making it easy is great, but a lot of organizations want us to go ahead and make manageability and operational management of these pipelines really easy. So we just launched our observability dashboards early in the year. managed pipelines is coming too, which allows you to take any pipeline, go dig deeper into individual steps, what happened and what the bottleneck was, and how do you resolve the bottleneck. So a lot of that stuff is getting better and better over time. Finally, the two of the key strengths in Google Cloud is streaming and AI services, which is machine learning and AI. And we are bringing both of them together with Dataflow, who are enabling various different integrations with cloud AI, APIs and services, integration with TensorFlow extended. Now you can build streaming pipelines, which basically span from collect large amount of events, go ahead and transform them, do the prediction in real time, and then go ahead and serve it from a serving layer. We are taking, we're not just stopping at just base integration. We are going to have templatized solutions like anomaly detection, where you can take it and customize it for your industry, your use case, and then go ahead and use it. We have seen anomaly detection being used for fraud detection in financial services or e-commerce sites. We have seen that in network anomaly detection in telecom and all of that. So these standardized patterns and templates are going to help organizations to adopt it faster. Finally, we are also going to enable GPUs and TPUs through Dataflow pipelines. This has been one of the most asked for capabilities, so you will have that capability too. So we covered BigQuery, the data warehousing, we covered data lakes, we covered streaming analytics. Let's switch gears to enterprise BI and data applications. So Looker now is part of Google Cloud family. It's a great data platform that's available. It basically, Looker is based on this amazing semantic modeling layer. It allows you to define your common understanding of your metrics within the organization. And this is one of the biggest pain points for most of our customers. They basically have different, self-service BI enabled everybody to define their own dashboards, but also everybody to have their own definition of common of their metrics. So with Looker, you basically define your common metrics. This allows organizations to rally behind the common understanding of these key metrics. It also has this BI capability with great visualizations, great tooling for your dashboards and reports and all. So that's always there. Another thing it allows you to do is everything in Looker is an API. So you can build your own custom applications and custom use cases and workflows on top of Looker. Some of the organizations using Looker are like, you can't even see anything in Looker there. It's just an API, headless BI platform that you can go ahead and do whatever UIs you want on top of it. And then we've seen a lot of organizations use embedded Looker, where Looker gets embedded into other applications and all. It works with more than 55 different kind of SQL dialects, means different databases and data warehouses in the world, including BigQuery and some of the other cloud providers. Today, there's a long list of capabilities we are adding with Looker. There's a great session that will go in deep dive into that. But today I wanted to highlight the 3 key capabilities that we are enabling. Looker on GCP, integration with the BI engine, and then instant exploration. So first of all, making Looker available in the cloud console in GCP is one of our big priorities this year. What that will enable you to do is you can, with one click, get access to Looker, get started, and leverage the product. But one of the most important things is we are also focusing on all the key security horizontals that you all care about. Like you want CMEC and you want like a VPCSE. All of those different kind of horizontals, they will come over time, but that's part of being a Google service where we're focused on that. The second thing is better integration with BigQuery is, of course, one of our priorities. BigQuery plus Looker is an amazing combination. Like there's unlimited scale on one side and then great visual capabilities, but common APIs that you can use, semantic modeling layer. It's really good story together. And with BI engine, our in-memory caching layer, you can now start bringing these two together and get sub-second latencies on most of your dashboarding and reporting use cases or different visualizations you want to go with. Finally, in Looker, you do have to start with a model, define it in LookML, and we wanted to make it very easy for organizations and analysts in organizations to go from BigQuery and start using the power of Looker. And basically what you will be able to do with the instant exploration capability is you can write a query in BigQuery UI. With one click, you can get into visualization with Looker. You will be able to go ahead and add calculated fields. You can share those visualizations with your peers within the organization. And then finally, when you're ready to go to this higher level capability with enterprise capability with a governed BI and have this modeling layer that you want to customize, then you can go ahead and upgrade to that. But this starting off and getting started with Looker with BigQuery is going to become super simple. With few clicks, you will be able to go do that. We covered a lot of stuff today across cloud data warehousing, data lakes, streaming analytics, as well as enterprise BI and data applications. We have tons of more stuff coming. There are a lot of details that we have across the portfolio. In last few years, we've been leaders in every report that's come out from analysts. Forrester, this is a good one where for 2020 data management and analytics wave, we were the leader. Same thing with Gartner reports that have come out. And we're going to continue focusing on enhancing our products, getting feedback from you, making sure that we are working on the right priorities. There are also a lot of other sessions that the team is doing that you can get more deep dive across different aspects of the products and different capabilities that we have. We have 30 plus additional sessions with customer use cases, how our customers and organizations are using the platform. So I will highly recommend viewing all of those. And finally, thank you for your time today. Really appreciate listening to our roadmap for smart analytics. Thank you.